Hey guys, back here with another tutorial. On the previous tutorial, I talked about the easiest compressor in the world, and I said it was the RVox. I'm gonna retract my statement and say it's the easiest compressor on vocals in the world. The easiest compressor to use in the world, I would say, is the la2a, because you can use it on pretty much anything. And there's really only three knobs that you need to know. You don't have to worry about attack time, you don't have to worry about release time, you don't have to worry about threshold, all of this. At first when I was learning this, it was like the 1176. I was really overthinking these knobs and how they work. Really, how it works is you first decide, do I want to compress or do I want to limit? There's a whole topic on compression versus limiting, but basically, compression, you're going to hear the effects. Limiting is just going to pretty much put a brick wall on it, and it's just going to make it overall louder, if that makes sense. All right, so in this example, this is a remix that I did. Let me play this track by itself so you hear it without any compression.
Taking you home, taking you home.
And in the track.
Taking you home, taking you home, taking you home.
Cool, so now we want to use the la2a compressor, the easiest compressor in the world. So, all we have to do, put the compression on, we decide how much compression we want. That's what the peak reduction is. And you watch this little arrow, and the more it goes to left here, the more compression you're using. All right, so I'm gonna play this, and I'm gonna slowly tweak this knob until we see this needle start to move.
Taking you home, taking you home, taking you home.
Okay, so now it's reducing the peaks. That's what the peak reduction is, right? And then we're just gonna do what's called makeup gain, or the overall volume of the track. And this over here, this is showing how much gain reduction, right? So it's doing like 5 dBs of gain reduction. All right, so now I'm gonna turn up the volume here in the track.
Taking you home, 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 taking you home.
And that's it. That's all you have to do to compress vocals, or pretty much anything else. You decide how much you want to compress over here. The more you turn the knob to the right, the more compression or peak reduction it's gonna do. And then this is the overall volume or makeup gain, how loud you want it to be in the track. That's it. It's that easy. And if you look over here at some of the presets that come with it, Vox, okay, this is vocal. All this is doing is kind of guessing this ratio, but it's not doing anything different than what we did. So you can kind of learn, like, what is the CLA2A, like, when is it good to use compression? Well, it looks like they said vocals are good with compression. Sibilant Vox, there's no change. Compression, piano. Same thing, use a compressor on piano. Acoustic guitar, look, compression. Electric guitar, barely any change. Drum group. Hard drum group, we switched to a limiter. Okay, so most of this stuff, you're using a compressor. And you would use the same exact technique that I showed. I'll show it in just a second on something else. I'll put it on drums or something, or piano or whatever. Bass, back to compression, strings, aha, a limiter. So we're learning something. We're using compression mostly on everything else, but Waves is recommending that we use a limiter on strings, which you wouldn't normally think. So use the limiter on strings and hard drums. Interesting. And this unity is going to set it so there's no peak reduction, basically no volume change whatsoever. How cool is that? How easy is that? You don't have to worry about threshold. You don't have to worry about, well, this is really your threshold, but you don't have to think of it that way. You don't have to think about attack time, release time, knee, all of that. I believe this is based off of an opto compressor, but you don't have to think about that. Just add how much compression you want, watch it over here, and then control your overall gain. Now, let's try the limiter. Well, first let's try the compressor on something. What do we have here? So we've got piano. Okay, I've got piano over here. Let's see. Let me play this track for you.
Listen, hey, everyone! Then I saw it. Hey, everyone! Then I saw it. Listen, a myth.
Let me solo this for you. Okay, so let's say we want to add some compression to it. Well, we could add the piano preset, but that's not really going to tell us much. But let's see what happens. Oh. Okay. So let's add the piano preset here, see what happens. But it's really not going to determine. We're going to have to still tweak it.
Listen, hey, everyone!
See how the basic setting doesn't even get anything happening? So let's just, well, I'll just leave it in this setting and then I'll show you that there's no change.
Listen, hey, everyone! Then I saw it. Hey.
See how it's going over here? And then we can control the overall volume.
Listen, hey, everyone! Then I saw it. Hey, everyone! Then I saw it.
So really, this preset doesn't help us at all. All you have to do is do a full reset. Just leave this here. Start to control our peak reduction on the piano.
Listen, hey, everyone! Then I saw it. Hey, everyone! Then I saw it. Listen, a mythical creature, a mythical creature. Listen, a mythical creature.
Cool, so we're getting like 2 to 3 dB of gain reduction, and then we can control our gain or volume.
Listen, hey, everyone! Then I saw it. Hey, everyone! Then I saw it. Listen, a mythical creature, a mythical creature. Listen, a mythical creature. Yeah, I did. No, I did. No, I saw it. It doesn't exist. Listen, hey, everyone! Then I saw it. Hey, everyone! Then I saw it. Listen, a mythical creature.
Oh, I have it dual mono. But you can hear the effects here. It's really, really easy to use. What happens if we turn it into a limiter? Okay, let's find out.
Listen, hey, everyone! Then I saw it. Hey, everyone! Then I saw it. Listen, a mythical creature, a mythical creature. Listen, a mythical creature. Yeah, I did. No.
See how you can, with the limiter, you don't really hear a character change or a color change or a depth change. It's more of just, it just makes it louder. Where that's at least what I'm hearing. With the compressor, I'm hearing an actual kind of a breathing, and you can hear the compressor working. So that is it, folks. This is the easiest compressor in the world. Theoretically, you could use this one compressor on everything, and you wouldn't have to think very much. Actually, I might try that. I mean, you got compression, the amount, limiter, the amount, and your volume. You don't have to overthink, and you can just worry about your overall levels and your EQs and your reverbs, and just be creative and stop getting lost in all the technicalities. And that is it, folks. If you have any questions, let me know, and feel free to like and subscribe if this is helpful for you. And as always, have a great one wherever you are. Take care.